See, I already screwed it up because Jason doesn't even make that sound. I am Doogie, and you are watching Doogie's Horror Den. This is the Halloween Hangover edition of the Horror Den. Just because Halloween is over does not mean the horror ends. I am still celebrating Halloween. I am still celebrating horror until I say. So, you know what I say? I say hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and tell me what are your favorite Halloween horror movies. So, with that being said, my horror peeps, I got a jam-packed, horror-filled show for you. Can you imagine this is real? Like, fell right off. Awesome. Perfect way to die. But my horror peeps, let us talk right now. But I have a rating system. It's very horrific. M murder shitbag of a movie. MD murder death decent horror movie. You might think about showing somebody that movie. And then MDK murder death kill. I'm going to watch this movie again and again because it was amazing. Something I've never seen before. Just horrific. And since this is the Halloween Hangover edition, I got a special treat for you. I've got four reviews for you. So you know which, you weren't supposed to see how fake that looked. So you know which movies to watch, which movies to don't watch. So I say right now, let's get into it. So, right now, we are going to start with a movie that came out in 2008. Now, this movie, it was redone in 2015, but I am not going to... After watching this movie, I am not ever going to watch the reboot or the remake because it's going to be crap. This movie was directed by a named director, Pascal Laugier. I really hope I said his name right because if not, the whole thing was ruined. This movie is called Martyrs. This movie is about a woman who seeks revenge on the people that kidnapped her as a girl. And she has her friend along with her who's also been abused but wasn't abducted, but she's with her as well. Now, this movie is very brutal, very graphic, very triggering, very horrific in ways that I have never seen before. Now, I want to warn you, if you watch this movie, if you get triggered by torture, don't watch this movie. Or watch it and be frightened and triggered and scared. So this girl finds these people, kills them, and then you think that's like the end of the movie. That's just the beginning of what's about to happen in this movie. I know a lot of people won't be able to watch this movie, and that's why I'm kind of surprised that... See, this movie was made, I think, in Canada or France or wherever. And, of course, America had to make their version, but their version, even by watching the trailer, it looks watered down. And I'm never going to watch it. Never, because you're not going to be able to beat this version of Martyrs. The hell that this character is going to go through in this movie is nothing like you have ever seen before. It's just, it leaves you breathless. It leaves you jaw dropped. You're just sitting there like, what the fuck did I just watch? It was amazing. It was an amazing, amazing movie. And what it turns out, this cult-like people are trying to find out what happens after death. And you have to get to this certain state of mind, which they call martyrdom. And to get there is just crazy. So, I am not going to give away what happens at the end of this movie, but you need to watch Martyrs. Martyrs, excuse me, is an MDK to the fullest. It's one of the craziest movies, disgusting movies I think I've ever seen. So, yeah, definitely check out Martyrs, the 2008 version, please. So, the first of 4 movies. We already have an MDK. Let's dive into the next movie, which is directed by Frank Calhoun. Brand new movie, a Shudder original. This movie is called Night of the Hunted. It stars Camille Rowe. She is a woman who is driving to her ex-boyfriend's house with her current lover, and they, see that they need gas, so they stop at a gas station. And when she gets into the gas station, she notices something is off here. The cashier is dead. And all of a sudden, she gets shot. There's a sniper out by the billboards picking people off. And she's trapped in this gas station. It's like, what would happen if this actually happened? How would you get out of this? And they have random people coming into the gas station getting killed by the sniper. It's crazy. There was a lot of blood in this movie. There is a lot of death. It's a perfect horror movie for this time of year. Night of the Hunted was a good movie. I'm going to give it a strong MD. There's I wish we would have gotten a little bit more explanation on who this killer was. You're led to believe, at least for me, you're led to believe who this killer is. But it's never told. But that's good, because you don't need answers all the time. It leaves you wondering, what the fuck? But in this case, I really wanted to know the answer. I wanted to know the answer. That's why. No, it was good. It was a real good movie. I'm going to give it a very strong MD. So, check out Night of the Hunted on Shudder right now. It's brand new. It just came out a few weeks ago. So, we have an MDK and an MD. Now, third on my show for this Halloween hangover. We can't have Halloween without an appearance from one person. Okay, so back to business. My third movie on this Halloween hangover is a movie that also came out in 2023. We got a lot of new ones this time around. And this movie was produced by none other than Seth Rogen. Directed by Samuel Bowden. And it stars Lizzie Kaplan, Anthony Starr, Cleopatra Coleman, Woody Norman, and is produced by Lionsgate Films. This movie is called Cobweb. Now, what this is about is a kid a kid who is hearing voices in the wall. And his parents are fucking psychotic. Like, he knows something's wrong with him. You don't know what it is. But the father is out of his mind. The mother is very, very strange. And this kid gets bullied. Okay, so he's kind of like an outcast. Okay, but he's talking to this voice that's coming behind the wall. And the boy starts doing things the voice says. Okay, so what kind of trouble is this kid going to get into? And once the shit starts flying in this movie, it does fly for a while. And the first time you see the thing that's behind the wall, I mean, I do admit that was kind of creepy. And if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Because, like, this door opens and all you see are these eyes and this smile. You're like, oh, fuck, this kid fucked up. So then, you know, this is the one problem I had with this movie, is that every horror movie that deals with something creepy, their villain or their monster always does the creep walk thing. And it's just like, I understand it's creepy, but it's like every horror movie does the creep walk thing. You know what I mean? Like, at this point, it's just like, I'm tired of seeing the creep walk thing. Show me something different. That's the only issue I had with the Cobweb. And that is the only reason why I'm not giving it a MDK, is because it's showing a lot of things that we've seen already. So Cobweb, for me, it had some good jumps, some scares, not too much blood, but it had enough. And it's a perfect Halloween-themed movie. Don't get me wrong, it's right on Halloween this movie takes place. So this is going to be a good Halloween movie in the future, to make sure you watch it around this time of year. So Cobweb for me is an MD. Now, for the main event, the fourth movie on this review show is also a Shudder original. It is also a brand new movie that came out this year. Of course it is. Of course it is. This movie is directed by Damien Rugna. And if you don't know who he is, go on Shudder and watch the movie Terrified before you watch this movie. And that is that too. That is what you'll find. What the fuck am I trying to say? I don't know. If you've seen the movie Terrified, not to be confused with Terrifier, you know what you're getting into. I can't fucking talk. Hold on one second. Just gotta breathe heavy. Hold on. I'm good. So if you've seen Terrified, you know what you're in for when it comes to this movie. This movie is called Where Evil Lurks. And it's about a town who gets infected with these people they call rotter. And what that is a person who is possessed by a demon. It is not your typical possession type movie that we've seen over and over again. This movie is very graphic, they pull out all the stops. Like, no one's safe in this movie. There's no old person that's safe. There's no kid that's safe. There is no adult that's safe. It's just no one's safe. No animals, no nothing. You're all up for grabs in this movie. Like, when you're watching this movie and the lady hacks her own face with an axe, that's how you know you're going to be in for a treat. This movie was very good. It was very good. It's one of the better movies I've seen in a while. There is only one issue I have with this movie, so it's not a perfect movie, is the fact that every man in this movie makes the stupidest decisions. Like, they go against what everybody is telling them to do, but they do it anyway. Like they're told, you can't move a possessed person. They has to be where he is and need to get exercise. What do the three men do? Take him out and try and move him. That's what starts this whole chaos of this town going into shit. And they don't stop. But I do have to say, this movie is good. It's really good. And where evil lurks, it's scary, it's bone-chilling, it's bloody. It's horrific. Beautiful. So this movie, it gets an MDK for me. It was a really good movie. I can't wait to see what this director, Damien Rugna, comes up with next. And you should watch it. And I know I reviewed Terrifier a while back. Check that out too. He has the stuff for when it comes to horror, and knows how to be scary, knows how to be like, what the fuck am I watching? Like, when you watch his movies, you're like, how does he come up with this shit? It's great. It's good stuff. Check out Where Evil Lurks. Check out Terrified, Damien Rugna. Right now, he's on top of his game. Just like how Mike Flanagan is on top of his horror TV show game, Damien Rugna is on his horror movie game right now. Can't go wrong. But, my horror peeps, this has been a fun-filled, horrific show into madness. Thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate you. This is the Halloween Hangover edition. But like I said before, just because just because Halloween is over, does not mean the horror stops. It doesn't mean that I have some really good damn movies coming up soon. So stay tuned. Until next time, my horror peeps. Especially this time of year. Watch a horror movie. What's it gonna do? Scare you?